What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to SimTrack's broadcast. And we are here with the NSR Xfinity Series as qualifying is getting underway for most of the drivers that are hopefully trying to land down some solid times here tonight. We'll bring Stella in just a moment. I have got almost 25 drivers getting ready to get locked and loaded for this one for the first race of the playoffs here tonight, and this should be an excellent race. If you guys tuned in last week, we were actually at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 2008 edition, not the Super Speedway, for the ATL 250, and that was definitely a rocket of a race. As crazy as it was, too many things going on, hardly any cautions out there. Definitely some tire strategy took place, and that is a lot of what you're going to see here tonight. Is we are here at the Nashville Super Speedway, where this concrete track is going to take a definite toll on the cars, the tires, and the drivers out here, whether they're going to be bumping and running, if this is going to be a single file race, or somebody's going to have the right setup here tonight. Now, checking through some of these drivers out here, I'm waiting to see some big names out there. If Johnny Taylor, Jerry Culver, and even Corey Hines. I'm waiting to see, because I know Corey Hines and Adam Benefield missed the race at Atlanta, but I believe they just squeaked in. I know the driver who did just squeak in, Stella, if I'm not mistaken, it should have been Brandon Hastings, who just barely made it here.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a checkup, I guess, or a mix-up with all the guys, but we do have our final 12 that are eligible for the next round. Let's see, Sisler, Sikosi, Benfield, and Hastings, yes, are now on the scary side of the playoff standings.
Alrighty, well, as we get that one kind of chewed up a little bit here, and we think about what is going on, the playoffs here are a little bit different than maybe what you guys have tuned into and seen before. We eliminate 4 drivers tonight. It's going to be very, very quick, so obviously the top 8 drivers here will be able to move on to the next. There's no problem with them racing at Chicagoland next week, but 4 drivers will be eliminated from the playoffs, and then another 4 after the round of 8 to the championship 4. So, Stella, we're used to seeing 3 races and the best out of 3. Then we scrape off 4 guys there at the end, or only 2, and then we move on from there. So very, very high paced, and the consistency has got to stay super high and super careful here, as guys have got to be getting around this track and start wondering, am I going to make it to the end? Is this going to be one of those races that is just not going to be mine tonight? And your confidence level has to be up, and the practice time had to be put in.
Yeah, with the practice time is definitely a no-brainer when it comes to this league, because they are ready to race. Open setups tonight, no fast repairs, and you've got to be on the ball. We saw last week Ehrman took himself out. He was a contender there and just had one bad entry into pit lane.
Yeah, that he did, and just barely made it into pit lane. Fortunately, he was able to put some tires on, but unfortunately, hopefully that does not continue on tonight. So you were just talking about kind of what we got lined up for tonight with the 87-degree track temperature out there. 188 laps. Stages will be at 45 and 95. 100% fuel limit. 3 sets of tires down in the pit. And, of course, no fast repairs. Now, my only concern here is right up in the top right. 9 miles an hour wind, so guys are going to be trying to pull off turn 2 here, and it's going to be a whole lot slicker than they wanted it to be. Of course, me, Patrick Morrison, is your lead producer. Stella as my side broadcaster, and color commentary tonight, and race control will be Corey Boudinot. Now, Stella, tell me a little bit about the NC811 before we get ready to grid up here.
I can, because NC811 has been around since 1978. And what their function in life is to make sure that you stay safe. All you have to do is contact 811, tell them if you're going to be digging in your yard, and they take all the rest. Transmit it to your utility providers, tell them about your excavation, and your utility providers will come out and mark your property so that you do not have any chance of hitting gas lines, power lines, water lines, all bad news. So remember, contact 811 or 1-800-632-4949 at least 3 days prior to when you plan on digging. And best part, it's free.
Yeah. And definitely not what you don't want to do is hit any of those gas lines or anything like that. Definitely could be a danger to you or the people around you, and kind of figure out what we got to do. All right, right now, Eddie Rose we're taking a look at in the 46 Chevrolet out there. Still a solid black car for him. Right now, he will be sitting in that 17th spot if he can't pick up the pace here. He'll have at least one lap to figure it out here, and we'll see what he can squeak through with 13th. So a little bit better. I know Brandon Banks is out there. He's been turning some laps here a couple of times there in the 54 machine, just trying to see if he can narrow this thing down, what kind of adjustment he may or may not need to make. Ehrman is on pole here tonight. Now, I haven't seen anybody unseat him. We'll go over penalties here in just a moment, but drivers I have not seen on the track yet. Thomas Stanley, John Hamby, Adam Benefiel, Kenny Davis, Jesse Priest, Brandon Hastings, Corey Hines, or Michael Strickland. All these guys are not out there and haven't put a time down yet, so I know our tower looks a little empty, but we still got a lot of guys that get pushed around here and see what we see where they're going to end up placing here.
Yeah, that I know. I was going, where is everybody? But they only have one lap in this series to qualify, so it also shouldn't take them much either.
Yeah. Well, we have seen a lot of times what these guys do is go out there and end up passing the entire field and kind of, I guess, making it a challenge for themselves, and we'll see how that works out. But we'll see. Let's head out to the chat. I can see Jay is out there. This guy was here 2 hours before we got started, so I appreciate you joining us here. Jay, I appreciate you, buddy. You are in for a treat here tonight here at Nashville as we get ready for this live race, getting ready to come up here in just a moment. I also see Walterman is out there, ready, set, race. He is getting locked and loaded. Robert Allen, possible to get a follow back. He's an iRacer himself. We're going to see what we can do, brother. I'll see if I can lock and get you lined up here at the end of this race, and we'll see what we can get going there for you. All right. And right now, Thomas Stanley's saying, oh, boy. No, not a trading paints problem. Really? Oh, boy. Yeah, well, his paint's not loading. I know some of the guys out here have been having some paint problems. Stella, if I'm not mistaken, who was it last week who we had a problem with? It was completely the wrong number. It's like 42 and it was a 12 or something.
I was thinking it was a 12. Was that Mr. Wheeler?
I think so. I don't know. Wheeler's been pretty good. I think there were 2 number 12s.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's what that's where we're fighting out here.
Well, we will find out in a moment if you didn't get it fixed.
Yep, that we will. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and see what we can get going here. But Stella, what do you say we get to the starting grid here?
Sweet.
All righty, let's go ahead and get this one going here. Dakota Ehrman and Mike Bruno. Bruno once again starting here in the front row in the number 2 spot. Let's see if that 19 Chevrolet can come away with a win. Eric Schaefer will be sitting in 3rd. Johnny Taylor is in 4th. Hopefully we see Johnny Taylor come away with another solid finish here tonight as he has been on a roll. Tyler Merritt will be in 5th next to Nathan Biggert. All right, Matt Sisler sitting in 7th next to Colby Hartung. Robert Sanders on the inside of row number 5. Dylan Walterman will be in 10th. Let's rotate on back here where we see Mark Sikosi. Sikosi is sitting just outside the top 10, but he feels pretty confident. Keep an eye out there for Facebook, guys, for the NSR Series, as I was going to say, the NSR Xfinity Series, and that's kind of my hint. We got a little bit of a surprise for you guys we'll talk about later on here in the broadcast, but I'll give you a hint. They're starting a little bit of a new league in another car, so we'll take a look and see how that one kind of comes up. I believe Wednesdays is what we're looking at. Let's get back to it. Is on the outside of row number 6, Craig Parks. He'll be sitting out there in the number 82. We'll see how well that Chevrolet can do. Moving on through. Eddie Rose, 13th position for him. Stoney Benfield, right now he's 14th, so the faster pastor has got to pick up a little pace here. We'll see if he can shoot through this field. He's fast early on, but we'll see what his strategy is here tonight. Jerry Culver, 15th, next to Keith Fonseca. Fonseca sitting 16th. Brandon Banks will be 17th. And the ever-so-famous Corey Hines. Watch out for that 57 Chevrolet. This guy's got a rocket in the rear of that car. They may pull that car apart again to figure out what he's got going on. Adam Benefield will be in 19th next to Jesse Priest. That's going to do it for our row number 10. And yes, that we are. Let's continue on where Brandon Hastings, who made it by the skin of his teeth into the playoffs here, sitting 21st. Michael Strickland will be 22nd. And that brings us to Johnny Hamby and Thomas Stanley. I'm seeing these two guys are out there on the track, but Stella, we only have one driver down pit road, and I'm sure he is serving a penalty for a little bit of an incident issue. So the 40 Toyota here of Ryan Wendt, he's going to be down and out here. So let's go ahead and get this to under green, where Mike Bruno on the outside line looks like he gets a little bit of a slow start here, falls off the back, and then he is going to be in big trouble as Johnny Taylor is taking another look here toward the inside. Right now, Taylor is still sitting fourth. Schaefer has already moved up a position to shoot around Bruno as he had the inside line advantage, and Ehrman is taken off here. And right now, this is a huge jump and really what he needs to get this one going to start this entire race.
Yeah, what a great start. It's not every day you can have a half a second over everybody before the end of lap one. And yes, Ryan Wendt will, he's not starting. It's just that he's starting a lap down, so he starts from the pits.
Yeah, that we do. We do see him on the inside, right, coming off a pit now. As we rotate back to the 3 positions gained already for Stoney Benfield. Looks like he had a terrible qualifying as he's gained now 4 in a matter of about a lap and a half here. He's really on the roll. Benfield up to 10th. So good job here. Ehrman nailing down some solid times and still picking up time with a 29.95 out here on the track. Everybody else is over 30 seconds to get around this concrete track. So Stella, 1.3 miles in 30 seconds. That's not too bad, especially out of these Xfinity cars.
No, it is not. I mean, the fastest qualifying speed was set in 2007, and that was, 166 miles an hour, 28 seconds. Yeah. So these guys are running that. I'm all for it.
So far, single file here in the front rows as we move on back, especially through the top 10. Everybody single file where we keep kind of bring our gaze looking to Craig Parks. Parks is actually under fire here by Eddie Rose. Rose taking not 1 but 2 positions here, slinging on past. And Corey Hines, once again, he's looking like he's going to start from the back and work his way to the front. Hines up 6, now to 12th. Continuing this roll on through, look how solid that 57 is moving around there. Now, Stella, I looked during practice, and not picking on anybody, but Johnny Taylor was driving on this track like the rear end of his car was on glass. So whatever they had gotten set up here, get this thing squared away, being able to make it lean into these turns without losing control. It looks like they may have hammered that out down at Team Conti, and that thing is driving on a rail. And Corey Hines looks like he's looking to catch up to at least one of his teammates who's sitting in the top 5.
Yeah, I was worried about riding on glass. Wasn't quite sure if you meant slick glass or broken glass, but I figured it out eventually. Yeah, I'm watching Benfield, like you were saying, coming up 4 places already. But he is one of the ones that is in the firing line tonight. If he doesn't make a nice finish, he is going to be kicked out of the standings on the playoff.
All right, we'll get to the standings here in just a moment as Johnny Taylor now moves up to 3rd, sending Bruno back another position. We just got to the end of that battle there as they kind of slim it down just a little bit. I think Sikosi's looking to see if he can get a hold of Craig Parks. Now, we're also seeing a big field shuffle here as Dylan Walterman, something's going on with his vehicle as he's dropped down 9 positions here. Boy, oh boy, has he been on a roll backwards. The 26 Toyota not having a good night. I don't know if this car's not settling in for him or if something's gone wrong. Outside line for him as he drops down to 19th. He's got a long way to go and a whole lot of road in front of him to get this one underway. Stella, we are looking at 180 laps left to go. If you're losing that many positions, how do you keep your head on straight and kind of say, hey, I'm not going to fight back to the front?
I'm not sure. I mean, something must not be feeling right. Either that or he's got is not good in traffic. Why he would start so nice and far up there when he's got the tractor himself, and fall back to that many places so fast.
Yeah, some guys do have a qualifying setup. They're able to add a little more tape, get some speed out of it, but he may have not taken the tape off, and then that's what he's fighting to the front of the car. So it makes it very, very difficult to make a turn. Craig Parks is actually on the march back as well, down to 17th as Brandon Hastings, Benefield, and Brandon Banks and Sikosi get around him. Sikosi leading the charge of this trio here as they move their way on up to the front. Right now, Sikosi, he's lost the 2 positions here so far. Remember, he was just outside the top 10, but with Corey Hines gaining 7 positions, Stoney will be next on his list here as we can see him continuing to charge on through. It does not seem anything is going to stop him in that Raptor Chevrolet.
Yeah, inside line, outside line doesn't matter much when it comes to Corey Hines.
Yeah, well, Corey Hines and that Chevrolet has been on a roll here so far. We got another battle here as Colby. Wow. Colby on the outside as Matt Sisler was getting loose. I was wondering if he was going to be trapped on the outside between him and the walls. The 66 machine breaks loose. Here comes Sisler holding on to it.
All right. He's hanging.
Yeah, not bad by Sanders and Benfield here. They were watching this thing come together as it looks like Corey Hines once again brings himself back into our camera view here as these 4 are right now all side by side. Sisler trying to hold the outside line, and as loose as he was last time around that turn, I wasn't sure the outside would be as beneficial for him. Heading into turn number 1 here, he's trying to take another angle, and he dips on in, and Benfield down on the bottom. The faster passer looking like he's going to pick up a little more pace, get on through, and Corey Hines looks like he's going to be unscathed getting past the 66 as well, as the spotters definitely yell into the guy's ears, don't make any crazy moves. You got a guy to the inside. Sisler's going to hold to the outside and probably just let Hines on by here, but ooh, Sisler trying to hold on to it here. Now, Stella, how do we, he's got to tighten up this race car. Now, the worst part is continuing to battle with this car the entire race or this entire first stint once before you pit and try to figure out what adjustment he needs to make. If he makes too much of an adjustment, he could make it looser, or he could tighten it up too much, and then he'd be even in worse shape coming into the second round here. So definitely the Music City 250 kicking off here on lap 14. Definitely we have got a couple of guys out here who have been doing really well, and some guys are kind of slipping up a little bit here.
Well, everybody's getting used to how everything is handling. Like you were saying, didn't realize that there was a different tune that they could, or a different modification they could do for qualification versus racing. But that would then make a lot of sense because in qualies they're not going to have all this downforce or lack thereof from the other cars around them, and it may really make a difference in the handling.
Yeah, that it will. Eddie Rose trying to take a look here on the inside of Sisler. Sisler still under fire here. This has been about 6 laps in a row. He's been unable to come across without a car next to him here. Sanders already behind Adam Benefield back there, and he's losing a little bit there. So we got some guys shuffling around. Eddie Rose off the racing surface. Wow, drops the left side tires there, and that's going to lose him the position that he had gained there for about half a second. Looked like he almost was getting ready for the pass, but gets below that yellow line, and now it kind of punishes him here. All right, Stella, let's go ahead and get back to it, where Dakota Ehrman is 2 seconds in front of the rest of the field as we rotate back there. Schaefer's at second, Johnny Taylor third, Mike Bruno fourth, and Tyler Merritt in his original qualifying position of fifth. The 38 Ford looking to see if he can continue his consistency here and move on through. Now this will give us just a little bit of time as we sit here on lap 17 to take a look at those point standings we've been talking about so very, very much. Guys in red are in the possibility of being eliminated. Remember, Brandon Hastings just barely made it. So definitely, even with his DNF he had last week, he was still able to squeeze in. Stoney's in 11th, Sikosi in 10th, and Matt Sisler in 9th. Right now, these guys are got to place in front of each other. Right now, Adam Benefield right now is in front of Sisler, who's now 13th. So Sisler's got to keep churning here if he wants to manage. Right now, Corey Hines and Ehrman can probably not finish this race and still make it on to the next round. Hines could probably skip the next 2 rounds, really, with how many points he is ahead, seeing that he is sitting there with 2060 and everybody else 2018 and less. So that is going to be an interesting run here for the rest of these drivers as we get started on lap number 19, single file for most of the track here. We got Eddie Rose back here. I think he's getting ready to take another shot at it. But look at this clutch of drivers back here. Definitely not looking good as Sisler is down on the bottom yet again. Eddie Rose has to give up on Adam Benefield, who got in front of him here. Benefield charges on by Eddie Rose, Robert Sanders, Brandon Banks, Brandon Hastings. That moves us to Sisler, Sikosi, Jesse Priest. Wow, definitely an interesting clutch of drivers here. You saw they were almost going 2 and considering 3 wide. Coming across the little bend there before the start-finish line. Everybody was kind of taking a peek at who was going a little bit faster and who wasn't. So right now, Jesse Priest gaining 3 positions here on the night with his unfortunate 20th place start. He's been rocking his way up to the front, following Sikosi, though, but Sikosi's actually been marching backwards to chase them. So the 2 Brandons here, Banks and Hastings, sitting 13th and 14th here, looking to see if they can get their way up to the front. Now, I don't know, Brandon Hastings not qualifying here, if this may have been the right move for him, seeing how low he is in the chase. I know Stella, we talked to him at one point during a podium finish. He was saying he was going to let these other guys go ahead and race and not try not to impede their points chase.
Well, not impeding and not cutting off your nose to spite your face. But well, the not impeding is not always the best. It depends, especially with these guys on different teams in here. Look at them go close. I love it. Yeah, I saw Sisler earlier come down off the racing surface again, and that was kind of the kiss of death there. He lost about 3 places, but what I did notice is that Hines has managed to finally pass Stoney Benfield. And Benfield has got to get on up there, but he's doing very well. And let's see some more racing. Yeah,
Stoney not doing too bad, gaining 5 here on the night. Remember, he was originally on the march back. He's starting to get back up to the front. We are riding along with Nathan Biggert here, watching the pass of Corey Hines getting around Colby Hartung here. Right now, that Camaro is still on a roll with his 11th position gain so far here. Now, Stella, we come to the stage at lap 45. 24 laps we've run here so far, and this guy's passed almost half the field here as he continues his charge forward. Waiting to see if right now if Ryan Wendt can get back onto the lead lap. Unfortunately, he had to start much later. But check this out right now. That is Corey Hines looking to squeak on by. How close he gets. Man, that just absolutely blows my mind how he's able to floss around these guys without making contact. That was so close. I'm so impressed at how he was able to make that turn here. But as we are still riding along with Nathan Biggert, there's a clean pass there by Corey Hines. No harm, no foul. He didn't bump anybody out of the way, and that's exactly how we see Corey Hines racing each time he comes out here to the NSR Xfinity Series.
Yeah, that is one thing I like to see is clean racing. You know, nobody needs to see a bull in a china shop, you know, come out and just bash everybody into the infield or up into the wall to get forward. It's much more skill and much more desirable to watch them read it in and out.
Yeah. Well, let's rotate on back to Brandon Banks, who right now has Robert Sanders to his inside. Brandon Hastings still sitting 14th and right there in the 91, but woo, Sanders rotates up. Looks like the teal-wheeled car getting ready to bite him there. Hastings gets to his inside, nudges him and says, hey, get in line. I'm sliding to the inside. Excellent move here. But sometimes rubbing is racing, and that's exactly what you see right there. Hastings going ahead and moving him up into the spot and making the decision for him instead of hanging out between 2 lanes. Definitely, if I were Robert Sanders, yes, I got to get a little breath of fresh air to that motor, but right now that is not going to be his choice, as Brandon Hastings goes ahead and moves him out of the way. So right now, sliding on through Team Conti, number 91 Chevrolet, Brandon Hastings trying to hold on here, see if he can get around him, but he is getting more of a fight than I think he expected out of Sanders. Sanders still holding on here, not bad. As we take a ride along here with the tie-dye man of Robert Sanders. He's got right now Hastings to his inside. Excellent move here. As the number 1 Ford trying to get back up to the front. Right now Sanders is moving on back. There's a bad turn. That's going to do it for him. And Hastings gets on around. Hastings slides up to 13th, so now the bleeding has got to stop here by Robert Sanders. He tries to figure out what he can do to kind of offset what's happening here. This is definitely not going well for Sanders. Couple of battles out here. Let's see if we can check back out here to Priest. Priest, this unfortunately is the battle here for 16th spot. Right now, Sisler falling down to 17th. That's 10 on the night. And he's going to be still trying to hold on here. I think Kenny Davis is going to be making a bid for that next position as Sisler drops down to 18th. Something would tell me what's going on here. Something's up with that right side of that car. That thing is just seems too tight here, Stella. And as he goes around, the rear end of that car is trying to kick out on him, and that's just not what he wants. So Sisler has got to make an adjustment here come lap 45 or 46 when they start rolling down pit road to figure out how he's going to get this car to loosen up a little bit and start rotating through the field. Let's rotate up now to 6th position as it looks like Nathan Biggert under fire yet again. Tyler Merritt looking to make a bid for that spot. Tyler Merritt now looking for 6th. He's lost at least a couple here on the night. Originally qualifying 5th as Hines now moves up to 5th. These guys still side by side here. Not a bad race. Let's try to see if we can get going on here as we only have less than 15. Well, we really have 15 laps before we end the stage break.
Yeah, I was going to ask you regarding the stage break. What can a driver do? Could they adjust their line, or can they do something in car to help with what you were saying? Hastings was having.
Are we talking on the fly or in pit road?
Well, on the fly, because right now we've got green flag racing. This league does a lot of green flag racing. If you get out there and you realize your rear end is sliding around, and you've still got another 30 laps before the stage break, can you adjust what line you're running to make it easier on your car without losing 14 places?
Not really. The only thing you can really adjust in car while you're racing is any kind of brake bias, which is determining how much brake pressure that you apply, whether it goes to the front or to the rear. Unfortunately, in these, any adjustment you want to make to the car itself has to be done down pit road. Obviously, things like tire pressure, if you want to make a track bar adjustment, any kind of a wedge shift, that way it will help with stagger, or any kind of things like that. If you want to add more tape. So right now, with that front end kind of kicking out from him, if Sisler were to remove a little bit of tape from the front, it would loosen the front of his car and might make it a little faster, but he's still going to be fighting a lot of right-rear tightness, and that's why it's kicking out on him there. So I don't know if him lowering the tire pressure on the left rear would help him stay tacked up, or if he would have to raise the tire pressure on the right rear to try to help swing it the rest of the way around. But you do have to sacrifice a little bit out there to get that thing squared away here, Stella. Stella, we are looking at Corey Hines looking like he is shooting here for the next position. Right now, Hines is up to 3rd. Right now, you see way out there in the distance, that's Dakota Ehrman.
Yes.
Right now.
It's past 3 seconds gap now. I've been watching. He was running about 275, but now he's 3.5 seconds in front of Schaefer.
Well, the amount of time that Corey Hines has picked up here, yes, this is looking fantastic for Dakota Ehrman, but him staying out front. Right now, I assume Corey Hines is not running his fastest laps. He's kind of taking it easy here. His last lap of a 31.40, and Dakota Ehrman with a 31.48. And Corey Hines is still picking up pace. Remember, he's 4.3 down. Now we've now broken past the 4.2. So Corey Hines is still picking up pace here. So when we come down pit road, he's either going to be side by side with him if he passes Eric Schaefer here, which we see Schaefer is kicking out to the side here. He's having some trouble as well. If they're going to be starting side by side or nose to tail here and keep pushing this on through, but that is exactly what you're going to see from Corey Hines here. Technically, Corey Hines is the faster driver. What can Dakota Ehrman do knowing that he is leading all of this stage? He's probably going to finish this entire stage here at the end. He's going to end up winning the stage, but what can he do for the remainder of the race? And I think he's going to have to outpit him after lap 95 to see if he can outsmart Corey Hines here or offset something to continue his charge and get away from these guys.
Yeah, something tells me we are going to get down to some pit strategy because the racing is so good, so clean that, it's not just a matter of, push down, go fast.
Yeah, well, a couple of adjustments go as you definitely see the sun setting here. Track temperatures are going to change, so that is exactly what we're going to see. I am still blown away by Ehrman still having a 3.5-second lead over top of the rest of the field. Corey Hines is getting ready to put Schaefer behind him, but the 48 Liqui Moly car looks like he might be getting ready to put a car behind him here in just a moment. I believe that is Thomas Stanley, and if I'm not mistaken, looking close to that might be, that might be the old school Dale Earnhardt paint. Yeah, back when he raced the old Wrangler. The old Wrangler car back in the 80s. You like that? Throw that one back, Stella. Ha!
Oh, too far back, baby.
There we go. All right, Dakota Ehrman trying to see if he can get him here. Corey Hines did make that pass 4 seconds, so we'll see if we can rerun that here as we take a peek at how that happened. We were taking a look at a paint scheme there, but I think we could probably find something a little more interesting here. Is look at Schaefer. Ooh, there was contact. Hines to the inside, and away he goes. Dives in much later than Schaefer and never looks back from there. And that's going to be a good pass there for Hines as he moves on through. Let's see if we can rotate back to Tyler Merritt. I think Merritt was just a moment ago got around Hartung or Adam Benefield there. I think Benefield passed Hartung, and now Colby has dropped a position down to 9th. Merritt sitting 8th, Adam Benefield gaining 12 on the night, and Hines starting to chip away at Ehrman's lead here, but maybe just too little too late, but that's not bad seeing how far he's come. He's come almost the entire field here. He's gained 16 so far. Brandon Hastings gaining 10, so Team Conti, whatever it is, if these guys sell setups, these guys might be the ones you want to take a peek at. Definitely if you're running an open setup league, because I don't see how none of them qualified except Johnny Taylor, and they're all rolling through. They're the ones up, that just cut through the entire field here, and are still charging on through. I mean, it just seems there's no lack of speed out here by any of the Team Conti guys, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Right now, it looks like Sanders may have been able to slow it down, 14th for him, but once again, to the inside, Mark Sikosi. Sikosi looking like he's getting ready to make a pass. Yes, he is. That is for the 14th position. And I think the faster passer who's sitting down here in 16th, he's going to have to tuck in behind Sanders. As Sanders, wow. He is getting way loose. Wow.
Yeah, he's getting something. He was doing the merengue there for a second. So, yeah, as far as Hines chopping off time towards Ehrman, the way I'm looking at it, one way or another, he's starting first row now, and we're at the stage break, so I, wouldn't kill myself.
I'll have to make a couple of different adjustments, as we talked earlier about Matt Sisler. 19th position for him is where he sits now. So Ehrman looking to see if he can get past the line here as he's getting around the final turn. We have got our eyes here on Tyler Merritt. It looks like Merritt is trying to fend off Hartung, is trying to get close to him here, and that's going to do it as these guys get slung through. Wait for the top 10 to make it past the line here, and then we'll have the caution out for the stage. There it is.
Bingo.
Wow. Yeah, right now, I mean, consider this. Dakota Ehrman, first place, ended first place. Corey Hines gained 16, sitting second. Schaefer sits third, exactly where he started, as well as Johnny Taylor is fourth. Bruno lost third because he was started in second. He's down to fifth. Nathan Biggert started sixth, ended sixth. Now here's where it shuffles up. Adam Benefield sitting seventh, gaining 12 on the night. Merritt lost 3. Colby Hartung lost 1, and Eddie Rose gained 3. I mean, so only half of the top 10 are still the ones who were exactly where they were here tonight. Not shuffling around, but still some have been bumped out and some have gotten in. Robert Sanders, he was up into the top 10. Now he's down to 16th. Same with a couple of these other guys out there, and you kind of wonder in the back of your mind with the setup that you had, Dylan Walterman, super fast up there, but now we're down to 22nd. What adjustment can this guy make, seeing that now he's racing in the field, and I'm wondering if his car is just way too loose. The only way he can tighten it up is add a little bit of tape to the front and maybe some right front tire pressure and see if he can tighten that race car up and see if he can hook this thing around. So, alrighty, Stella, let's take a look out there in the chat. Robert Allen out there. Jay is still hanging around. Ruth Gardner, appreciate you guys definitely staying tuned in and appreciate the compliments out here for Simtrax Broadcasting as we've definitely been coming through. Stella, I knew we kind of tumbled around there a little bit with possibility of a broadcast shutdown. I know most people don't know about it, but there was definitely a tussle up there. Why you don't see the Doghouse Racing League, the Big Show, or the Racing Revolution is no longer signing with us. There was definitely some controversy going on there. Possibilities of shutting down as well, but let me tell you, we have got the NSR Xfinity Series. These guys believe in us so much that they are considering a Wednesday league. I believe they are going to be locking and loading a Cup Series on Wednesdays, so definitely keep in mind and keep an eye out for that, as I'll be launching streams through there that you guys can kind of lock in and wait for them to get warmed up and get see them. I believe we'll be starting with the Daytona Duels. Stella, do you have a date for me?
February 7th.
All right, February 7th is when we'll see the Daytona Duels kick off there. We'll definitely see how that goes for those guys, and then we are starting a new league out there on Tuesdays, NORA League, National Oval Racing Association. They'll be kicking it off there. Definitely keep tuned in this upcoming Tuesday. One of my favorites, Stella. It's nothing against the Xfinities. It's nothing against Cup cars, but when I'm an iRacer, I appreciate authenticity. And the most authentic car on the service is the 87s, where they bring out the Buicks, they have got the Pontiacs, they've got the Fords, they've got the Chevys. The Chevy Monte Carlo out there, the Ford Thunderbird, and they said that is the most real one they have to date. They had Bill Elliott drive them. They had Dale Jr. drive it. They had, if I'm not mistaken, Ricky Craven drove it. Michael Waltrip drove it. And they said this is the most realistic car, and they even adjusted it to make it so. So that is exactly what gets me is we are going to be kicking off the 87s for the Daytona 500. Next Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll tell you what, if you guys are in for a long race, it's going to be one. I believe we got 200 laps at Daytona. They have already gone ahead and done their duels. They have already done their pole day, and let me tell you what, these guys are ready. They've got these cars set up. They are locked and loaded. They're going to be really kicking butt out there. And it is a humbling car. They're loud. They're loose. To me, it's a rocket out of control. And I'm really excited to be bringing them. They will be actually racing the Cup Series, but we're going to go ahead and start off with the 87s as kind of a big event there for NORA. So keep an eye out. Watch and see what we got going on for the upcoming streams, and we'll bring it to you. All right, Stella, that is the update for everybody out there, and definitely for everybody keeping locking and loading here. Definitely, if you were looking to have us broadcast, definitely check out simtraxbroadcasting.com. We are taking the applications, seeing that we are still a wanted service out there, so we will continue, and we will keep bringing you the best here in iRacing. As you see the Chevrolet out front, the lights are off on the pace car. Eric Schaefer and Corey Hines will be in the front row. Look like Dakota Ehrman a little slow out of the pit box with a 16:45. He'll be starting third, and Mike Bruno moving up a position into fourth. Right now, a lot of movement out here on the track as guys have been shuffling around. I don't know if we had some trouble down pit road, but right now Sisler looks like he may have taken it back to the garage. I think the 66 Ford is not doing so well here. Ryan Wendt, he is back onto the lead lap, but I do not believe he was able to pit. So we'll keep an eye and see if Ryan Wendt, how he's going to get back underway here. He's going to be staying out here, Stella. So the 40 Toyota starting in the back, lead lap, and away we go. Right now already some trouble here in the back as it looked like somebody sidestepped it there. Had a little bit of a breakaway, and now they're sliding on through. Johnny Taylor with a terrible time. Right now, he had a 33 seconds in the pit box, so speeding in possibly for him as he is shuffled all the way out of the top 5 down to 18th, and we are still moving around all over this track. So where can he fall in? Let's get up to the front where we see Schaefer, Hines, and Ehrman, 1, 2, and 3. Mike Bruno sits 4th, Adam Benefield. All right, let's start getting back to that 3-wide race, and we saw here in the back around that John Hamby area. Hamby sitting in the 70 Chevrolet, gaining 7 and still on the move. Where can he fall in? Right now, we won't make the beaver nugget joke again, as I think that tripped you up last week. But
yeah, let's not.
Dylan Walterman right now is in front of a 3-wide situation again. Sanders, Parks, and Strickland. And we haven't talked about Michael Strickland at all here tonight. Right now, that is the 87. I believe that's the Phantom machine sitting in the back. And we got a driver sideways, Sanders. No caution out here on the track. We've got a wrecked race car. Holy cow.
And a toe.
Yeah, that may have broken his
triggers
car.
it.
Wow. Yeah, well, definitely that broke his car there. I don't know if what happened here, but it looked like he broke sideways and was unable to keep contained there. Let's see if we can take another look at it. I don't know what happened here. I'm trying to see if I can find what happened to Robert Sanders.
Yeah, up further.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm seeing lap 52. Right now I'm looking for 53. But it should have broken loose right about here, as these guys were 3 wide. There's Sanders down to the bottom here. There's Craig Parks. Whoa.
Oh, there it is. Yikes. Oh, and he picked up someone.
Yeah, I think it was Jerry Culver is who we made contact with the 13. Wow. Alrighty, well, Jerry Culver is down pit road.
I'm happy.
Yeah, as he's kind of smashed up a little bit. Sisler, unfortunately, down and out here.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
see that. He popped up in the chat to let us know that it was just too hard. The left front was hitting the ground and causing the car to shoot to the outside. So he kind of bowed out so as not to ruin anyone's race.
Yeah. I still would have tried something else there, Sisler. I don't know if you're still tuned in, if you were able to raise enough left front tire pressure to help pick up the front and then still offset it by the same amount on the right front, trying to see if you can pick that thing off the ground. Definitely when you do get caught up with these drivers in front, if you add more tape to the front, the downforce helps set the nose down, and if he's making contact with the side, that's not good, but I'm sure he's definitely keeping an eye out there, looking at the replays. If he was contacted on the left rear, that's a different story. That could be even worse. So couple of different things he may have to take a look at. Johnny Taylor sitting 14th. He's moved his way back on up. Let's see if we can find Brandon Hastings. I think Hastings may have had something going on here, getting around Nathan Biggert. Biggert trying to hold on to a top 10 here as he still continues to fight on through. And right now, Biggert only about a 1/10 of a second off. Boy, he's right on him. Seeing if he can get right around him. Let's see if we can take a ride along with Nathan Biggert yet again as the Team Conti 91 Chevrolet of Brandon Hastings gets on through. Excellent job here so far. Hines only half a second in front of Ehrman, but Ehrman is the only driver hanging on here at the moment. Remember, Schaefer originally was our starter here of the race, and now he's down to 3rd.
Yeah, I was going to point out if you're moving up, let's keep moving all the way to the leaders because, like you say, Schaefer started out from our restart on 49, and he's already in 3rd, where Corey Hines has taken the lead.
Yeah, Hines is going to be going ahead and pulling away here from the rest of the kind of really the clutch of cars that are all behind him here. They are still pretty tight wadded up here. Hines is pulled on away as he's definitely escaped here from most of what we've seen here tonight, and hasn't really actually been pushed that hard, I've got to admit, seeing how far he's gotten through. Ehrman and Hines have been going at it for a few laps there. Seeing back here on lap 51, they had been kind of passing each other here at the restart, but I think what everybody's really interested in is that lap 56 is really where he reeled in Schaefer, where, remember last time, these two made contact as he got around. And right now, Hines is trying to set him up there. You see him kind of slide across the rear bumper. Ehrman dive bombs it to the inside so they can both get around him. Schaefer slides underneath, and that's going to go ahead and do it. Hines getting away. Ehrman trying to hold on to it there. And so far, so good. It looks like Ehrman is able to hold that outside line, and they go ahead and take off from the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's the kicker you were saying. Well, he's getting his lead from the pack in the back, and that pack in the back is the whole rest of the field. He has almost taken that lead to 1 second.
Yeah, that he has. And it doesn't take much. Right now, he's still on that fast roll that he had earlier. Remember, I was saying he had almost a tenth, if not 2/10 per lap, that he was gaining even on the leader of Dakota Ehrman. So Ehrman, hopefully, like I said, he's going to have to outsmart him here and see if he can reel him back in. Bruno right now is unfortunately running a little bit faster here of Adam Benefield, but not consistently. Adam Benefield is about to get his number here in just a second as the 19 Liqui Moly car trying to reach out there and grab a hold of his buddy in the 48 who's sitting second. But Adam Benefield is holding on, trying to see if he can get that 19 behind him. But Bruno actually fell off a lot later on here in the series. Actually in the stint where Adam Benefield may be able to attack. I don't know if Benefield is trying to hold back here a little bit for some fuel savings and see if he can sling on around him here in the next couple laps.
Yeah, he just needs to be careful because we saw earlier getting off the racing surface is not worth the gas savings. He's cutting it really close.
Yeah, that he is. Right now you see Benefield taken down toward the bottom. It doesn't look like he's having any problems out there. This thing is still on a fantastic roll here. Oh, didn't know if he was thinking about it. We saw Ehrman was able to do it. I know it's possible, being able to send it straight through the turn. Let's see if we can take a look as Adam Benefield takes a look toward the inside here. He's going to go ahead and see if he can sling on by. Oh,
and he does.
Done. Wow, excellent job there. Looks like Apex Designs gets a little bit of a shot out here as we take a look off the rear window here of Adam Benefield, who now moves up to fourth. That's 15 on the night. And the only thing that's not a Chevrolet here in the top 10 is Tyler Merritt in the 38 Ford, who is sitting 10th. So right now he may get bumped out as Brandon Banks has been on a roll as of late, but only about a quarter of a second off of him. And this is still happening. Stella Hines, 1 second off the rest, off the closest driver here. Ehrman, like I said, he has got to figure out another adjustment that he can make, or he's going to have to outsmart him on pit strategy here. Because I think Hines is walking away with another one here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good possibility.
Boy, definitely.
But never a sure thing.
No, not normally. Let's see how we can check back here on Brandon Hastings. Hastings has been setting up Eddie Rose here for quite some time, looking to see if he can get it here. Right now, let's take a ride here with Hastings. Trying to see what he may have.
Dirt in my teeth.
Yeah, we're pretty close here to the ground. We'll see if we can get into the cockpit here of Hastings. Trying to see what he's got going on here. Ooh, here we go. Nice little turn exit slide there, so that's kind of how he likes it, a little bit loose.
Loose is fast, right?
Yeah. Boy, it's hard on the tires. See how deep he dives in there. I think we probably just rode along with Hastings on the lap he probably didn't want us to watch. That was not really one of his best turns as of late. So now, all of a sudden, with that turn, that is now going to put Nathan Bigger to his inside. And now it's going to cause problems. Yep. Now he's got problems all over him here as we take a look back. Right now, Brandon Hastings has got Nathan Biggert all over his rear bumper here. Trying to see if, boy, look at that turn, that middle of the turn. Biggert has got that thing down to a science right there as you saw him start to pull on through. Let's see if Biggert's thinking about pulling on past. Not seeing anything yet.
Through a hook and line, and now he's reeling him in.
Yeah, I know where we're going with this.
Come on.
Boy. Yeah, great racing here so far as these drivers are still battling it out here. And still, you know, we are looking at lap 95 is when these guys head down. Lap 70 is what we're on. And you're starting to see kind of the separation out here. Who's fast, who's got the right setup, who's made the right adjustment. Right now I'm seeing Tyler Merritt, he's dropped down to 10th. He had a top 5 start here, but he's still pushing forward. That 38 is starting to come alive. It's starting to really work its way in. Now, what can he do about making the car an all-rounder like Corey Hines is? He's got pace in the beginning. He's got pace in the end. But what you're seeing here is a lot of guys with some late-run speed are all of a sudden the cars are going to start waking up. And here we go, start pulling on through. Johnny Taylor is another one of them here. As Johnny Taylor is now starting to reel it back forward. Remember I said he had a terrible pit stop. Everybody else really under that 15-second mark, if not 14 and a half. He was at 33.08. So he was down there, and I swear it's like one of the Jackmen fell asleep or he got rolled underneath the car, and he's fighting for air there. But Tyler Merritt, he is sliding on around here as he gets ready to put Brandon Banks or Biggert here. Banks looks like he's not going to get behind him as right now Biggert gets pushed to the outside. Banks thinks better of it, drops down to the bottom there, and now we're trying to see if he can fight on through. No can do. Look at the 38 there. He's trying to cut a little bit of the track. You see a lot of that at Michigan, dropping down off the surface there, and we'll probably see a lot of that next week at Chicagoland. Definitely, unfortunately, that is a shutdown track. They found it better to open up the streets, I guess, race there, and park all the Fords with no computer chips inside of Chicagoland, which is kind of a bummer. I think it's kind of a waste of a track there, but that is exactly what you're going to see as that's where we head next week. Stella, if I'm not mistaken, for the Illinois 300 there in Chicago. I definitely would like to. We might try to get some Blues Brothers up here or something for the Chicago Bulls.
Okay. Well, shutting down's not always a bad thing. I mean, this track was shut down for about 10 years.
And then it was able to make a revival after how many millions of dollars that they already put into it.
Well, it actually was bought out, is how it happened. They Speedway Series bought it out, and they could not get a cup race here. And so that's why, what do we got up top?
Yeah, I'm watching the 13 all the way to the outside here. Jerry Culver, he's the one who had contact with Robert Sanders. Sanders is taking it back to the garage. Jerry Culver was the guy who was on the wall who got hammered there during that stint when Robert Sanders, the tie-dye man, went up there and caught him there. So he is a lapped car down, so he's just trying to go ahead and let these guys on by. Somebody else who's not looking to let anything on by is Nathan Biggert as he still holds that top line here. Johnny Taylor is going to go ahead and follow behind him. Taylor is a kind of a big outside driver. Doesn't really drop down to the inside much as you see him trying to pass here on the outside. Now it's putting Tyler Merritt in a bit of a pickle here as Merritt trying to hold on to it. You see that rear kicking out just a hair, and he's trying to hold on. Boy, Taylor is watching all this happen right off that front nose here. And I don't know what Taylor is thinking where he sits to see if he tucks behind the 38 here. And he does. Notice how you see the sides of the cars here. So these things are definitely staggered out to hold on to that turn and pulling on through. Let's see if we can rotate up to Schaefer. I think Schaefer's in some trouble here.
Yes. He was just passed by Adam Benfield. Well,
yep.
And then vice versa.
Benefield is loose on the inside as Schaefer holds the outside. Now, Stella, we're seeing the track shifting around here a little bit, and that's exactly what's happening, is the guys are starting to rotate up the track and finding a lot more traction up that way. So I'm wondering if the inside line is rubbered up enough that the guys are going to have to start moving their race line to see if they can really go to the change of the car and the track. All right, trying to see what they've got going on. Out there in the chat, Jay is asking and saying he'd wish they'd bring back North Wilkesboro. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, they ran that in the All-Star race.
They did.
Yeah, North Wilkesboro is back.
It's back.
Yeah, they repaved that. They got all the grass out of the racetrack surface, and they've squared that away. We've talked multiple times about them considering shutting down Daytona just because of the hurricanes coming through there and tearing up the sides of the track. We've seen Charlotte, they talked about it, but when they're open 360 days out of the year and there's a hole in the infield, a giant 12-foot sinkhole, they still fixed it and brought that track back together. So I guess it'd be like shutting down Talladega here, Stella. You know, some tracks out there are just the core of NASCAR. You know, Pocono. Nobody else has the tricky triangle. You know, but you can only get so many mile and a halves that are almost the exact same track as somebody else. You know,
well,
just
then Darlington, you can keep that one.
Right. Darlington's a completely different track, but then they've got another track that's kind of switching it up, doing the same thing. Just the reversal of the egg is instead
geez.
1 and 2 are pinched, and then 3 and 4 are open.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little bit tough. Iowa was another track that was kind of a small track, but it ended up getting so bumpy, and then Kansas took most of their viewers away. So it kind of COVID messed a lot of things up there. I assure you,
Well,
not just killing millions of people out there as a deadly disease, but definitely took its toll, especially here on NASCAR and people coming out here to even watch.
yeah, I know that my tickets were adjusted several times over COVID. You know, it was like, nope, don't come, we're closed. And then it was, come, but we're going to move your seats so we can have like 6 seats in between everybody. And then it was, well, you can come if you dare. And you can take all your seats. It was a mess.
Yeah, not good, but we'll take a look here. Johnny Taylor is sitting in 12th. Priest is sitting right behind him in the 0 Chevrolet. Tyler Merritt still remaining 11th, and Brandon Banks is 10th. Now, these are most of our closest guys out here on the track. Everybody else is getting pretty spread out here. I know right now Banks is trying to reach up there to Merritt. Merritt is starting to lose a lot of time here as of late, about a 10th a lap here, as Brandon Banks is still remaining consistent. There may be a possibility of these guys starting to meet up here in just a moment. Right now, Brandon Hastings almost out there all by himself. Eddie Rose sitting 7th. Colby Hartung is 6th. And Stella, if I'm not mistaken, right now I think Bruno is just trying to hold on to a top 5 here tonight. As right now his car is just, it's consistent. Remember, he made it in on points. He has not gotten a win, but you know, he's out here. He's consistent. I would almost say this guy's got a guaranteed top 10 here. But how's that going to be for his playoff run?
You know, at least to get him through the first round.
Yeah.
You know, 5th is good out of 12, but 5th is in danger out of 8.
All right. Out there right now, I see Jay out there saying it's been a while since he's watched. Fun fact that the wall that actually says Winston Cup on it, they were not allowed to repaint it. And they found it nostalgic enough. Check it out online. So they couldn't repaint it because it was a sponsor issue. They no longer support any kind of caution. Whoops. Dylan Walterman, I think, is around. Let's see if we can find him. Down pit road he is.
Oh no, Walty! Your fans are jumping up and down saying no.
Uh-oh, here it is.
Oh no, that's it. Darn.
Yeah, and then he stopped on the racetrack.
Okay, that'll do it.
Hard hit there. Let's see if we can. What do you say? Oh yeah, drone footage. Da 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 da. Boom. Boy, front nose, that thing is destroyed. All right, Stella. So remember we were talking a little bit about pit strategy here. I wonder if this would be something that, you know, Dakota Ehrman would toy around with. Right now, lap 95, guys pit.
Yeah.
If he were to pit now, then he'd be back out front. His tires are only about 10 laps. I don't know. It might be something they kind of toy around with a little bit as a possible strategy. He would still have to pit during the green flag stop.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at, I probably, at least me, would not do it now. I would go ahead and hold my position when everybody else comes down at 95, because that's like almost like the halfway mark. Then after that, you're on your own. I don't want to, you know, I'm going to need every lap I can get. I don't want to give up the 10 right now.
Yeah.
Eee, somebody's getting waved around.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that should have been Went. It should have gotten he should have gotten the wave around. Now remember, Went originally he stayed out to get his lap back and didn't pit. He just pit back on lap 68 when everybody else came in around that 47 area. But guys who were deciding to come down pit, Tyler Merritt, Johnny Taylor, and John Hamby. So that's where I was saying a little bit of strategy here. These guys may be able to stay out and try to keep it try to keep it going here.
Yeah, well, that's something to think about too. I'm making a note that if Went could make it 68 laps on fuel, then they will need only one green flag from lap 95 stage till the end.
Yes. Ooh, Craig Parks coming down. Ryan Went coming down. So he'll be actually fresh tires and fuel just like everybody else. And a possibility if he doesn't pit during the stage break, we could see this guy here in the top 5 after starting a lap down.
Outstanding.
Possibilities. Pace car lights are still on, though. We'll see how that works out. But as back to North Wilkesboro here, Jay, if you look up what they did to the Winston Cup wall, instead of repainting it, they went ahead to the wall and clear coated it to kind of lock it in time as the weather and the beat down that it's received over the decades it's been sitting out there. They clear coated the wall. That way it would remain where it was, and I think that was an ingenious idea and a solution to kind of their problem out there. So I love seeing what they've done with kind of what they did with the wall and not just paint over it, but actually keep it the nostalgic look like it has. I think a couple of people would appreciate that out of Daytona or Charlotte or some of the older tracks out there, and try to toy around with it that way. I like the thought, but Stella, we are getting ready to get back underway here. Lap 90. It's going to be a short stint before we throw the caution out again.
Yes, I'm sorry. Did you see Ehrman? He looked like a dragster taking off to warm up his tires. It surprised me. I thought he was going to run up into the pace car truck.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I apologize. It just caught me off guard.
Yep. All right, Jay out there saying, yeah, they were going to scan it for iRacing. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They definitely try to scan each track every once in a while for track wear, things like that. The new dynamic tracks. The dynamic track temp is what they call it. And now all of a sudden, certain parts of the track will get hot. High, low spots will get hot or cold. And guys are really on these open setup cars. Boy, they're really scratching their head because everything was doing really well with their setups, and now we're back to the drawing board again. So, I like the idea. Sounds pretty cool. Definitely, I probably would vote over that than the rain that you've considered putting in, but we'll see how it goes.
If you would like to see a race at North Wilkesboro, there is an all-star race on Simtrax Broadcasting, listed on May 24th of last year. If you want to see what they did and how it's scanned and what it looks like now.
Alrighty, yep. Corey Hines gets away here as we're back under green. Eric Schaefer trying to hold on to a second place. Remember, none of these guys have pit. Everybody else who pit was 18th on back. And still rolling on through here. I think Fonseca, something happened to Fonseca back here. Down and out he went off the track. So we'll go back and check that when we get back under yellow flag here. Schaefer has lost the position here to Ehrman. Ehrman trying to hold the outside line. Remember, we are heat cycling these tires here. So Benefield right now is trying to warm them up as fast as he can. Schaefer, he's been loose here all night tonight. Bruno, contact. Hold on, Bruno.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, not him. Everybody else behind him got turned around here and saw the wreck. That is Hastings, and he needed a finish tonight.
Oh, that was all the checkups. Did we get a big, nasty accordion band?
Oh, yeah. Colby Hartung, Nathan Biggert, Tyler Merritt, Brandon Hastings, Eddie Rose.
Oh, wow. That collected a lot.
Yeah, had crashed.
The first thing I would like to see when we do a replay on this, take a look at Bruno and see if it was netcode of him into the bumper in front of him or if he actually made contact.
Yeah, definitely possible. Let's see if we can take a look here. Get over top. Right now we are looking at Bruno. He should be fourth one in that line.
Yes.
Oop.
Yeah, did he make contact or did he just check up?
He was letting off. The 21 rear-ended him.
Aha. So that was first actual contact.
Yeah, you'll see the 21 come up here.
Okay. Wow, he let off and it was like he hit the brakes. Okay, got it. I learn. I'm not an old dog. Yay.
Boy, look at the pile up here, though.
Yeah, afraid
That's
so.
Hastings. Boom, and it's Zakosi.
Ah,
Yep, Biggert's back here.
Sikosi seemed like he was able to ride away from that. I don't know what kind of aerodynamic mess it leave on his right-hand side, but at least he stayed on the track surface. Ride along with Bigger. Yep. And look at the bumper. All the way to the infield.
That was kind of a hit there.
Oh, yeah.
See how
Oh, yeah,
Sikosi's spelled out here.
So he's running with the front end. Ooh. Wow. Okay, he's going to have some damage. Heavens. Yeah, at this point, I think I just let go. Uh-oh. 46 is locked up. His back wheels were spinning and he wasn't going anywhere.
We'll see what kind of happens here. Oh, absolutely nowhere to go.
Nope. Oh, and... yeah. Wow. Yeah, he got it from... See? Yep. What would cause that? I've seen that if people get stuck on a bump in the infield, but what would... Did it just break?
Yeah, it may have just broken there.
Okay.
All right. That was a pretty wicked one there.
Yes. And I'm assuming this will also count for our stage break?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this should be our stage break here, so. That's, wow, what a wicked wreck there right at the end. So, drivers who came down to lap 87, only two of them decided to not pit. Tyler Merritt and John Hamby, who were here in front. Corey Hines and Dakota Ehrman will start behind them. I don't know if I were them, I'd be nervous. You got two of the fastest guys sitting behind you. A little bit of,
No, that's just a photo opportunity.
man, I don't know. I don't know, because right now I wonder if I'd be worried, so worried I'd do something wrong here. That I'd get run over right here at the end. All right. Barney in the flag booth. Let's get ready to get that green flag going. Tyler Merritt gets his first start here in the front, and away they go. Boy, look at the shuffling already. Ehrman to the inside. Ehrman drops to the inside. Hamby already to the outside. Terrible run here. Hamby trying to hold on as he slides through the outside. Now he jams up in front of Brandon Banks in the 54. Let's get back to the front where Ehrman is following behind Corey Hines. Merritt drives up to the top, drops now down to third. Benefield is going to be looking to grab a hold of him. Jesse Priest, who's been playing outside the top 15 all night, sitting 7th in the 0 car. You see him trying to get around the Buc-ee's machine. Down to the bottom he goes. Continuing on through, Brandon Banks gets around Hamby. Next will be Johnny Taylor as Hamby. Awesome job there in the front row, but I don't think it was good enough for him as he marches on back. Hines and Ehrman in the front right now. Fastest time for Hines through 1 and 2 with a 14.90. That beats Dakota Ehrman's 14.93 out there. So now not only is Dakota Ehrman the only one to hit that 14-second mark, it looks like Corey Hines will be as well. But check out some of these best times out there on the Tower Stella right now. Corey Hines is now starting to push the envelope here and get going. Right now, Dakota Ehrman had the fastest time out there on the track. 29.92 is his best right now as he's flying up to the front, and a 29.88 for Corey Hines. But check out Ehrman. Boy, he's driving the tires off that thing trying to catch him here. But is this going to punish him later on in the run?
Yeah, if he does drive the tires off him, as you say, he won't be hanging up there because Corey Hines is definitely conservative when it comes to his tires.
All right, well, definitely we'll keep an eye on that. Let's rotate back. See how Hamby's doing. Hamby dropping down to the bottom as it looks like Stoney, who's hanging out in 11th, is looking to make a pass here. Johnny Taylor's sitting 8th. Remember, he actually came down earlier on lap 87, but he's decided to go back down again. Right now it's looking pretty close here as Johnny Taylor actually had an 11.42 pit stop time. 2 tires for his car. Back out he goes. So consider how many tires this guy's taken here, and does he have enough to make it to the end? So we'll see. Is there only 3 sets down pit road, 1 after a stage? He got tires earlier during his last stop before on lap 87, and hopefully he hasn't taken his last set on that last pit stop here, Stella, as we get started on lap 102.
Yeah, with any luck, he didn't just forget to check. We've seen races lost actually when they're really close, and the guy ends up getting 4 tires he didn't mean to, and it puts him down to 12th place.
Yeah, so far so good. Hines still in the lead. Ehrman sitting second. Benefield is third. Right now as they wrap around turn 3 and 4 here as they pass in pit road. Adam Benefield is still trying to hold them close, but he is losing valuable time as he's now up to 0.8 of a second off pace. Bruno, who started in second, sitting 5th, and Jesse Priest. Remember, I said he was still on a roll here. Excellent job by him as he sits 6th. Johnny Taylor is 7th. Brandon Banks still trying to reel it in. And let's sit back here with Tyler Merritt and Stoney Benfield. This is the battle here on the track, as I believe Michael Strickland is also trying to do a little something back here in the 87 Chevrolet. Right now, we got a driver getting out of all sorts, Tyler Merritt. Uh-oh, coming down pit road. He had 15 seconds in his box the first time. Something tells me we're serving a penalty here.
Oh, no. That could put a question light on his race.
Yeah, that it is. We'll see if he ended up passing under any kind, under a yellow flag or something. So right now, Merritt is sitting in the box now. Eddie Rose and Brandon Hastings still down there trying to fix it. 9 minutes now, so I do not think the 46 or the 91 will return back to this race. We are keeping an eye here on Strickland and Kenny Davis. This is the battle for 11th. Right now, I don't see anybody else out there really pushing anybody out there. Hamby off by 0.8 of a second off Benfield there, and not seeing any closer. Those guys kind of reeling each other in as they sit back. So now we've got Strickland, Davis, and Craig Parks right now, all within 0.3 of a second here. And I'm wondering if Michael Strickland's finally got this set up just right, and he's now able to start really picking up some positions here.
Yeah, I'd like to see that car pick up a few positions. I like it because I can see that car.
Oh, the old pink car. Yep, as he keeps on the roll. Notice how we're single file heading down the backstretch here. Stella, if you wouldn't mind, check in with RC and double check and see what caused Tyler Merritt to come down pit road, as he is now taking it back to the garage. And we'll see how that goes on. Ryan Wendt, remember, he originally started this race a lap down here. And now he's up to 14th. So this is why it shows you. Stick around, get back out on the track, keep going. So Ryan Wendt lap down, has played his cards right, 14th position. That's better than dead last here, so he's still got a chance to fight up toward the front. Let's check on Johnny Taylor again, who's sitting 7th, trying to see if he can slide his way up to the front, as Hamby's still in 10th. Strickland will be taking a look for that spot, but not as yet. Actually, let's take a look, as it looks like he makes an excellent turn through. Right now, Strickland, his tires are only about 6 laps fresher here, as Strickland is looking to ride a little higher, see if he can get a little more of a run off this turn here. And an excellent rotation, 87 down to the bottom, as John Hamby's 70 Bucky's machine sits at the top. 87 still moving on through. Man, he holds it. Having to really drive the wheels off this thing. You see him having to jerk it around just a little bit there. And that's going to do it. I think the 87 is still going to remain side by side, as it looks like we are riding along with Kenny Davis. And the Bucky's machine looks like he's going to be losing a couple more positions here, because unfortunately it looks like John Hamby might be in some trouble here, as everybody's kind of slinging around him. Not so good here for Hamby, as he's unfortunately losing a bunch of positions. Stella, any update there from race control?
It was not a penalty or anything from race control. This was determined by his own crew chief.
Okay. Well, we weren't 100% sure, as we're riding along here with Johnny Hamby. Right now, still seeing if he can hold on here. Looks like a good dive there by Kenny Davis. Davis is going to go ahead and floss on around. Whoa! Right, you look like Craig Parks. He almost clears him out there, as we were taking a look from the inside of the car out the netting. Right now, Craig Parks looks like he's driving with some authority here, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, so I'm not quite sure 110% what's going on. But Craig Parks back to 12th, where he originally started this race. And Stella, we still got a pretty decent race ahead of us here.
Absolutely. We've still got another 70 laps, and in my book, this is good, clean racing. Now comes the strategy.
Yeah, well, when do guys decide to pit? Now, we kind of toyed around with Wendt going 68 laps without having to pit. We've had one unscheduled caution that collected at least 5 vehicles. Colby Hartung, Nathan Biggert, Tyler Merritt, Brandon Hastings, and Eddie Rose were at least some of the drivers. That's not even including Mark Sikosi. And Sikosi's, unfortunately, he's all the way down to 17th, dealing with a boatload of damage to the front end of that car. Keith Fonseca is out there, and if I am not mistaken, Brandon Hastings has returned. He is out there on the track.
All right.
Excellent. Yeah, Hastings, unfortunately, 18 laps down here, but he's still going to keep churning some laps. Right now, Jerry Culver, from the earlier wreck he was in, the 13 machine, he's trying to stay out there. He's only a few laps down. I think 10, if I'm not mistaken. Merritt, I think, is taking it back to the garage. And Hartung will be our guy who ends up, if there is another caution, back onto the lead lap. But you still see he is dealing with a substantial amount of damage to the rear spoiler of that car.
Spoiler, bumper, everything.
Yeah, he got smashed there. Take a look. Whoa! The Ford machine of Eric Schaefer. Oh, my gosh.
Send it.
Woo! Boy, I guarantee it. Now he's going to have one of his race crewmates try to get a pry bar and dig it out of him there. I think he got nervous on that one. Wow. What a hard shot there. So the racing seat is now getting a few extra miles on it from that one. Let's take a look at Adam Benfield as they slide around Sikosi. Hines still leading this race by at least half a second here. Ehrman trying to keep it close. But we've only been really about a couple handfuls of laps here since last pit stop back on lap 93.
Yeah, this is looking good. I'm liking it. This is for a concrete track, I think they've been doing wonderfully.
Yeah, well, not too bad here, as the Music City 250 only had a couple of cautions here tonight. One of them definitely is Dylan Walterman spun out back on lap 85. Then we had another caution on lap 92. That was the big one here at so far here at Nashville. As a couple of guys have been hammered and smashed up here, unfortunately, but as a couple of guys are still able to return out there to the track. I know Colby out there and Brandon Hastings out there. They were able to return back to the track, so hopefully we'll see how this continues on going. I'm not looking to see as Eddie Rose is now dropped down to 23rd. I don't know if he's going to return to the race here, but I think he might be down and out here. We'll keep an eye and see what he's got going on altogether through the rest of this race. All right, moving on through. We're Corey Hines still leading this race here, Stella, and it doesn't seem to be anything slowing him down other than Hines still holding on to half a second. But it's weird because Corey Hines, he's fast at the beginning just like everybody else, but Hines is able to maintain fast for so much longer. And I'm just wondering, his driving style, I mean, is it a steering ratio change? Is he running a 16 to 1 anybody else, or is he, is he jacked up on Mountain Dew here?
I was going to say, I don't know. Maybe it's the Red Bull. Give him wings.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I was trying to do a Talladega Nights with old Ricky Bobby's kids. I'm jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Oh, okay. I have not seen. It's probably the worst thing I could say is I have not seen all of Talladega Nights. I have seen some of it, and it really has not encouraged me to sit and watch the rest.
The stupidity could not. You can only take so much. You might have to watch it in pieces there, Stella.
Yeah.
But I know any true race fan out there, Days of Thunder, everybody can make it through, if not watch it a second time.
Or a third, or a fifth.
Hey, I test all my surround sound systems with that movie.
There you go.
All right, still rotating on through. We are looking to battle here for 11th and 12th. Everybody else has kind of calmed down a little bit out there. I know Brandon Banks has been poking around out there just a little bit. Right now in front of Johnny Taylor. Taylor's still holding on, not too much there, but right now we are taking a look. Ooh, man, the 40-year-old Ryan Wendt. Did you see that? As he sent it into the turn, front end starts drifting. Sikosi, remember, he's missing the front end here. Man. Stella.
So he can cut a little closer on Sikosi. No biggie.
That's one of those things that I know the crew chief earns his money out there, but my gosh. I don't know who has more high blood pressure. Is it the crew chief or is it the spotter out there watching this from the top, knowing you can't do anything other than tell him, there's somebody you're outside, please don't move.
Well, even if he says don't move and you don't move, it doesn't mean the other guys doesn't.
Man. Alrighty. Looks like Jay out there is having flashbacks of the kids talking to Chip.
I'm gonna come at you like Spider Monkey.
Yeah, that's the kid.
Okay.
He's been on the ride at King's Dominion. Oh, if he's been on the Intimidator, my wife, I rode with her, and I think she passes out every time. She blacks out on that ride.
Oh.
It's
I was thinking there used to be a thing with Paramount that it was like a little motion seat. And you'd be driving, and you'd be all leaning to one side.
Yeah, the Days of Thunder, the motion seats, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then when they get into pit and they jack it up, your seat goes bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of something that's not bouncing out here, or maybe is, Corey Hines bouncing out of the roll here. Remember Ehrman half second? He added another 1.25 to that, so if he is tuned into the broadcast, I'm wondering if he's trying to put on a better show here and see how far he can get, because Ehrman is falling off, continuing on the roll back. Adam Benefield here is in third, Eric Schaefer fourth, Mike Bruno is fifth. Stella, we are coming to really a critical point here in this race where guys are going to have to start weighing their options here, whether, when they're coming down the pit and when they're not. As we rotate back once again to Kenny Davis here, who is sitting 12th. Ryan Wendt would like to get his Toyota up into the mix as he sits 13th, gaining 13 on the night, and really is the only Toyota that remains out here on the track. Unfortunately, Dylan Walterman with the spin out on 85 that went and did it for him. Let's continue on through, as right now Ryan went to the inside. Looks like the 97 Chevrolet is going to be sitting back one more position here, and he'll be tussling around with Johnny Hamby, who's sitting in the 70 Chevrolet Bucky's machine, as they watch Ryan Wendt and his Toyota drive off.
Well, he's not driving off too far. He's getting an eyeful in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, that he is. As Ryan Wendt's going to have a couple decent turns here, might be able to make a little more separation from the 97. Right now, we got a couple of guys here toward the front. Banks, Taylor, and Priest are starting to turn up the heat a little bit, and we might actually check in on Michael Strickland, who was trying to reel in Stoney Benfield on that last turn. I think Strickland might have gotten a little too close, had to check up, and now rolls back. So huge drop-off here between him and Benfield. So those two guys that we're about to go at it there in just a moment. Johnny Taylor is sitting 7th. Brandon Banks is now 6th, so gaining 11 here on the night. Stella, most of really the top 15 drivers have moved up a boatload of positions here, and a lot of guys, 17th on down, are guys losing a bunch of positions and unable to keep it all together here.
Yeah, well, I guess if you look at it, if the guys are going to move up, it's definitely going to put the other ones down. It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, it's definitely what we're seeing happening here. But as we enter lap 128 with about 60-some-odd laps left to go here, Stella, we're going to go ahead and cut to commercial and get a shout-out from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
All right.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC 811 app. Know what's below before you dig. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
Alrighty, everybody, appreciate you guys hanging in there for our shout out from our sponsors, the NC811.org. Definitely know before you dig. Right now, our first taker on pit road is Colby Hartung. Right now, he is sitting 18th as he goes ahead and heads down pit road now. Nothing but Corey Hines race. Dakota Ehrman was first stage, and it looks like Corey Hines has been everything after that. Adam Benefield sitting in third, Eric Schaefer fourth, Bruno sitting fifth. Pretty much unchanged until we get back to the Michael Strickland area where he got past, where he's staying in front of Stoney Benfield, who's now back into the 10th spot. He's gaining 4 on the night. Craig Parks is 11th. Ryan Wendt continuing his charge. I'm sure Pit Road would be happy for them, but seeing how long he's been out there, he's trying to see if he can stay out there as long as he can and have the fresher tires from his pit stop. Johnny Hamby sits 13th. Keith Fonseca is our 15th place driver, and Thomas Stanley. Stanley actually trying to come on back here, trying to work on it. Now he's having a little bit of trouble out there on the track, as right now Stanley is already down 1 lap trying to chase down Fonseca, or at least get past the race car drivers here. But if I'm not mistaken, Stella, we are looking at Stanley lap 135, and that is Corey Hines passing him now.
It sure is. And quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yep, going through our guys who are down laps. Stanley, Mark Sikosi, Colby Hartung, who's now in pit road for 1:20. All right, looks like the 21 Chevrolet might be down and out here. He's dealing with a lot of damage. Jerry Culver sitting 19th. He is, he's a boatload of laps down too. Right now, Culver, I think he's battling, trying to stay out there. 11 laps down. Brandon Hastings is 18 laps down, moving our guys who went back to the garage. Tyler Merritt, Nathan Biggert, Dylan Walterman, Robert Sanders, and Matt Sisler. Eddie Rose still out there trying to get fixed, but after about 26 and a half minutes, we'll see if the number 46 Chevrolet returns. That leaves us with 15 drivers still here on the lead lap, still churning this on through as we get the Music City 250 underway and almost bring it close to the end here. Pit strategy going to have to pick up, and the guys are, I can't imagine being a race team here and even be thinking about next week where we end in Chicagoland.
Oh, I would definitely be thinking about next week in Chicagoland because they're fixing to take 4 people off after the end of this race. And it'll be down to you and 7 others if you're still in the playoffs.
No, absolutely. But, man, the biggest thing I'd worry about to the race here and tonight, what can I do to kind of kick it around here and get just a little bit better as we take a look at those point standings once again here out in front. Remember, Hines, he's still leading this one. Ehrman and Banks. Banks not doing too bad as he sits 6th. 3rd in the points. Johnny Taylor, he's sitting 7th out there. He's 4th in points. Mike Bruno is 5th out there running right now, 5th in the points. And Jesse Priest sitting 8th. John Williams. Williams was not here tonight. So Mr. Williams may be eliminated. We'll see if he gets kicked out. Adam Benfield, he's sitting in the 4th spot out here tonight. He's in 8th, means Sisler will be eliminated. Sikosi, I believe, will be eliminated. Brandon Hastings will be eliminated. And I believe Stoney Benfield, who's sitting 10th right now, unless there's a catastrophe, he may be the one switching it up here with John Williams, and those may be our top 8 drivers moving on to Chicagoland. But Stella, we have seen many, many times, and even I'm sure we're going to see times after this, where a freak accident's going to happen out here, and then it's going to change everything.
Ooh, yeah, I was just watching him getting really loose. Yeah, it doesn't take much, just like the real deal. It one turn, one checkup, one bad pit, and the worm turns.
Yep. Well, we'll continue on through. Lap 142 underway out of the 188 we run here tonight. No speeding penalties down pit road yet, if I'm not mistaken. 45, right, Stella?
Down
pit road?
Down pit. Oh, speeding. Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay. 45
I was like,
miles.
Yes, they went down on lap 45.
No, 45 miles an hour down pit road is Dakota Ehrman being very conscientious of not doing that, heading down this time here at Nashville. So as he comes down pit road here, I'm sure we're going to see 4 tires and fuel. I do want to keep an eye here and see if there's any different strategy. And all we really look for is one side up, one side down, and one side up, one side down. See if both sides move. We'll leave it at that. Everybody can see it from here, and we'll see what everybody else out here on the track chooses. I know definitely some people tune into the broadcast, listen to what I say, and then they make their determination on pit road strategy going from there. But really, Stella, if you think about it, Dakota Ehrman's trying to kind of split this this stint in half, and he'll go out there and try to get out there faster right now than Corey Hines is. If Dakota Ehrman is able to make up a second and a half a lap compared to what Corey Hines is doing right now, 31:47, and he can get back around that 30-second mark, it should be working out really well until Corey Hines pits, and then we'll have to see how well that works out.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Yes, until Corey Hines comes in, because has he done it too soon? Is he counting on there being a caution between now and the end? And is this his last set of tires? So all those things are in the balance.
Eric Schaefer working his way down. Brandon Banks working his way down. Yep, here we go. A couple of other guys. Priest coming on down. Definitely no one wants to spin out heading down pit. Ryan Wendt, that means he moves into the top 10. Parks working his way down. John Hamby working his way down. Now remember, Hamby didn't pit, so this should be a great opportunity for Hamby to boomerang back into the front. As we rotate to the back stretch here, Johnny Taylor resuming back in his fourth position. Hines, Benfield, Bruno coming down. Michael Strickland getting around as Johnny Taylor looks like he's slowing down.
Late.
He's got it.
Made it.
He's got it.
Woo.
Yep, definitely having to hook that one, trying to keep it all together. Remember, Thomas Stanley is, right now, he is still a lap down here. But Stanley is out in front of Ehrman. If a caution comes out, Stanley gets around, Ehrman will remain a lap down. So Ehrman right now, he's pulling 30.38 seconds out there on the track. And Corey Hines is working his way, is sitting in the pit box. Adam Benfield sitting in the number one spot. That's Ehrman slinging on past him there. But remember, he's still lapped down. And that gets his lap back. Schaefer will be looking for that spot. Right now, Michael Strickland sitting second, Ryan Wendt. These guys need to pit here very, very, very soon. Or otherwise, them continuing to stay out at 32-second laps, or they're going to pay for it later on here. And we see Johnny Taylor down on the bottom working his way out as we keep an eye here on Keith Fonseca.
Yeah, I'm going to beg Fonseca to outline his numbers in a lighter color.
Yeah. It should be Fonseca in the 61 Chevrolet. I know it does look kind of tough out there to kind of see that blue.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah, maybe if you filled in like yellow or something, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, well, that'd be perfect.
Well, I was still looking at the rest of his paint scheme to see if there was a way to keep it hooked up there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Got somebody else down?
Yeah, continuing on through. Appreciate all 22 viewers out there still watching us right now as we get this one almost wrapped up. About 38, 39 laps left to go here. Pit road is starting to heat up just a little bit, but it has now started to cool down as guys are coming in really erratically. Not too many seem with any sort of a strategy. Adam Benfield, Michael Strickland, and Keith Fonseca are our top three drivers who have yet to pit, but another driver who is yet to pit is Thomas Stanley. Stanley's still staying out now. I think Ryan Wendt.
He went.
Yeah, he's back down pit road again here. I'm not sure if that was a drive-through. Huh.
Do not know.
Yeah, I thought Wendt stopped earlier. 5 times he's been down pit road here tonight. Oh, man, look at Ehrman.
He is
Yeah.
taking off.
Well, Ehrman trying to stay out in front. If you look at the time right now, he's only about 2 seconds in front of Hines. Hines pit 5 laps later. Benfield now working his way in. All right, Benfield is in pit. Michael Strickland is still staying out, though.
Stayed. Okay.
Yep. He's going to get a lead lap here. Out he stays. And Ehrman and Hines are getting ready to heat this one up here in just a moment. Right now you'll see Hines pull into the picture here. There he is. Yeah, so keeping it super close here. I'm waiting to see if Bruno can fend off Banks. Looking to see everybody had almost identical times down pit road. I will admit that Bruno was much faster in the box with a 14.97. Banks was sitting in there with a 15.35.
Yeah.
There goes Benefield. He's working his way out now. Pit a lot later than everybody else. Some guys at 142. He's at 152. So that 10 laps may matter here. But it does drop him 30 seconds off pace.
Oh. Yeah, that's not great.
No. No, not at all. The only way I think there's going to be
Is caution?
Yeah, I can't. I was trying to think if there's any other way. I don't see another possibility of him making it up, even if it's 10 laps. Right now, Michael Strickland's still running a 31.81. Dakota Ehrman just ran a 30.5. Hines 30.3. So Hines in pursuit. We are taking a look at Bruno right now and Brandon Banks. This is 5th and 6th.
But between the first 9 drivers, they have all been down, correct? Except for Strickland.
Except for Strickland, yes.
Okay.
Yep, everybody else has come down.
So we are only looking at basically 9 drivers still in the lead lap.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting pit call then.
Yeah. That's pretty wicked. Right now, Ehrman's still 10 seconds off pace. Strickland came down on 93. It might be an idea for Michael Strickland to pit now, as he is now hitting a 32.2. So he is 2 seconds off pace from the rest of the field here, and that's ticking away each and every lap. So he may come back out and be almost 2 laps down before he can get back off pit road here, which is going to be definitely costly for the 87 Fanta Chevrolet. We keep our eyes here on Corey Hines. Hines starting to get around Ryan Wendt. Wendt staying high. It looks like Stoney's going to try to reel it in here. Stoney is sitting 14th, a lap down. Ryan cutting in front of him. Whoa!
Nice reflexes.
Yeah, Stoney almost put it into the wall there. I think he puckered. Wow.
Yeah, he just sucked in that front bumper a little bit and keep on rolling.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Wow. That was pretty close there. Let's see if we can see what happens. Look at Wendt getting that turn. Good rotation on through. That's Brandon Hastings that they're passing out there. Car looks a lot better than it was a while ago, but after an extended pit stop time of about 12 minutes.
Ow. Yeah, that hurts. We're talking 12 seconds and things are all changed up. 12 minutes, and that's painful.
Yeah, Hastings is now 19th. Culver would have to kind of be down and out now, as he's on lap 143 right now. Hastings is down on lap right now, running on 140 of tonight's race. Michael Strickland is almost halfway through his lap 159 out there. Only 6 seconds in front, as it looks like Hines and Ehrman are getting ready to make contact with each other, and here they come. One in front of the other, and once again, Ehrman, good position here, but how is he going to fend off Corey Hines?
Yeah, is it going to matter that Corey has 5-lap newer tires? Probably not. He could have 5-lap older tires.
Look at the amount of speed he's able to get on these straightaways. Being able to reel him in. No, that might be the move. Here it comes down the backstretch. 2 of them side by side. Hines to the inside. Ehrman right now is looking out the driver window at the 57 here. Not looking too good as Hines trying to hold on to it here. Man.
I don't know about anybody else, but are you guys leaning sideways when you're watching this?
And there goes Hines. Yeah, I gotta admit here, Stella, you know, I've been in this situation like Dakota Ehrman, and all you do is, well, all right.
Again.
I guess we'll follow the 57. Man, All Chevrolets here in the top 12.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive here, seeing what we got going on. That is Benfield out there in the NC811.org machine. Still churning out there. And his Ford is he's sitting 13th.
To pull up behind and follow the line of the guy that's going fast.
Yeah. Although that is a battle though for 12th. As Kenny Davis in the 97 Chevrolet is on Stoney Benfield's outside here. So Benfield moves up to 12th. As Kenny Davis and Ryan Wendt are right behind him, so they kind of have their own mini battle. Unfortunately, they are laps down though. If I'm not mistaken. Whoa! Did you see Michael Strickland almost not make it? Oh my! I saw that on the very top of the screen. Is Michael Strickland breaking loose heading into pit? Whoa! That was close.
Yep. As long as he made his speed by the time he hit the cones, or just by the time he passed the cones. Don't hit the cones.
Yeah, look at Strickland entering pit road here. That's in front of Corey Hines. That's him. Ooh.
Yeah, he's golden. Not a problem.
All right, that's Hines is putting him a lap down, unfortunately. Now Strickland down to 14th. 20.2 in the box. And Craig Parks, one of our top 10 drivers here. I think.
Fixing to go a lap down?
Yeah, I think he's about to go a lap down. That is, yep, there he is. There's Corey Hines behind him, and John Hamby, who's sitting 9th.
Right behind him,
Yep,
too.
that's a bummer.
Yes.
Frito-Lay Munchies. Always look at the deck lid and see what they got to say.
I was curious, yeah.
Boy, yeah, right now you see Craig Parks up in the. Yeah.
He's driving in the dark.
Look at Hines. That's how he flosses through this field. 22 laps left to go. Wow. I think that's what I keep looking at just as a driver is the way Corey Hines, how smooth his turns are. And even if he has to modify it, he can't rotate up close to the wall. Just how smooth his movement is really something to see. Although I will say that's why I asked him at Indianapolis, because he dives deep into the turn and then almost jerks the wheel to the left to slide on through. This is just so much smoother. You see how it's just floating. And the car rotates through. Notice how he doesn't jerk the wheel. Just kind of let the car rotate in, roll on through, and now he's pulling away. I mean, just, man, that's amazing.
Away, yeah, he's 2.8 seconds ahead of Ehrman in second place.
Wow. Yeah, Ehrman getting ready to get up on Ryan Wendt. Wendt's lap down here in 12th.
Yeah, I believe he'll have two cars that he needs to pass that are kind of in traffic between him and Corey Hines. Stoney Benfield is up in front there too.
Yeah, that they are. Looking to see if anybody out there is kind of close to one another, seeing the guys have been kind of butchered themselves up here. Strickland back down pit here. I don't know if something happened to that race car.
I don't either. I was amused at Jay's comment out in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, let's see where John Hamby is. Yeah, I think Hamby might be getting a mirror full of Craig Parks here. Parks getting ready to get him here in just a moment. I don't think he's going to be really having the option here as we take a look kind of front bumper area of him getting ready to get John Hamby. Close as we get up a little higher. Right now the Buc-ee's machine down toward the inside. Craig Parks in the 82 Chevrolet outside here. He'll have a good turn exit. You see how he took a high side. So right now the bucket machine will stay out front. There we go. Yeah, on the gas nice and early. Here he comes. Right now, Craig Parks trying to hold it. Interesting to see him not drop down to the bottom either. Craig Parks taking a shot. Here it comes toward the inside. Right now making that move. This is the battle for 9th. And Parks having to check up as he wasn't able to rotate up before heading into turn 1. Whew. 16 laps left to go here, Stella. And right now I think Bruno and Banks are thinking about going for it. But Banks gets kind of a crummy turn there. And that is up there for 5th. It looks like Parks is not letting off, though. He's not letting anything like that happen. We'll check back in on them. I want to check in on Bruno and Banks. Banks looks like he gets on a run on him occasionally.
Having a lucky dog.
Yeah, he's asking if Corey Hines changed his paint scheme. Yes, I believe he did. Should have a different paint scheme out here tonight. Here's Parks down to the bottom again. Now what he's got to do is rotate a little closer to Hamby and get Hamby a little out of shape. That allows Parks to get down here toward the bottom. And completed pass, but Hamby might try to switch it up here. He's going to have the ability for the draft behind Craig Parks. Parks trying to hold on to it here. Hines out to a 4.6 second lead over the rest of the field. We'll check in on him as soon as I can get the satellite to find him. Right now, Bruno is only in front of Banks by about 2 to 3/10 of a second here. Right now, Banks is still trying to make a bid for that spot. No can do. Right now, Ryan Wendt. Whoa! Now, remember how Ryan Wendt was in front here of Stoney Benfield. Stoney looks like he just got nudged from the rear by Ryan Wendt. And Stoney kind of getting a little shake up here. Ryan Wendt diving in the turn a lot harder. And these guys originally picked Stoney. No. Trying to hold on to it here. Off the track there for just a moment.
Nice save. Did he actually tag the wall?
Yeah, it looked like he scrubbed it there just a little bit.
My heavens. I didn't know if he hit the wall or if it just kind of sucked at him and he drove away.
We'll see what he sees here. Hit the wall.
Yep. Tagged. Yep. Oh. Took himself a little Nashville stripe.
All right, looks like Bruno was able to break away there from Banks. He's got some decent distance on him here. Let's check out on Ryan Wendt. Wendt's sitting down in front of Hamby. Now, a lap down, and now we're 10th. That's really, honestly, Stella, for lack of better words, he is, he's had a hell of a race here tonight. I mean, I'm just trying to, a lap down, dead last in 26th, and now he's still a lap down and sitting 10th.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's funny though, some of these guys that you'll see them and they have passed the same cars so many times, but then something happens, and then they pass them all again, and then pit road something, and then they pass, and it's like they've raced twice as much as the rest of the cars, just trying to gain places.
Yeah. Yeah, that they do, and definitely kind of as they shuffle around just a little bit, I'd be happy just being able to pass people. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Ooh, man. Look how close Ryan Wendt gets down there, nudges that paint, continuing on through. Let's see if Mike Bruno is able to fend off Brandon Banks, and it looked like he is. No difference. No, not being able to get any closer here. Looking to see if Keith Fonseca's got anything. I think he's getting ready to reel in Stoney out there. That's Keith Fonseca in the 61 Chevrolet trying to get Stoney Benfield 75 Ford here. That'll be the battle for 12th. Right now, Hines is still out there by 7 3/4 seconds. Almost 8 here. Yeah, look at Fonseca's turn. Oh, that's the same wall that Stoney clipped.
Yeah.
Man.
Careful, it's got a little addiction to the sides of cars.
Yeah,
It'll
that they
reach
are.
out and grab you.
Alrighty, Brandon Hastings is taking it back to the garage back there on lap 158. So he will be locked into the 19th spot. Take a look. Keith Fonseca down to the bottom again. Right now, Stoney does not want to be high side. Oh, hold it. Oh, man.
I'm not sure you want to be low side with Stoney coming down like that.
Yeah, well, Stoney's trying to keep it off the wall, and I can definitely see he probably has a little PTSD from last time.
Oh.
And as they race around, you can kind of hear the tires sliding around just a little bit, so he might be fighting that car. Right there. See how the wheel's turning, but the car's not? Yeah, he's having a hard dragging problem. But he's only got 5 laps left to go, so he just got to hold it.
Hold it, yes.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. All right, Corey Hines sitting out there.
Well, at least it looks like we should still end up with 8 left on the lead lap. I don't see anybody that's in real danger of being caught up. That would be Priest in the 8th position. He's 24.5 seconds back, but Hines is not pressuring him at this point.
Yeah. Right now you do see, right now Ryan Wendt, he's 10th position here, but he is battling our guy here in 2nd. I give it to him. If he can do it, make it happen. All right, Stella, you know what? With 4 laps left to go, 3 once they come to the line, go ahead and give me a little bit about that NC 811. You know, what about the digging? Tell me why it's a good idea to do it.
Well, my thought is you dial 811 so you don't have to dial 911, because these guys will take all your information about where you're going to dig, and then they're going to transmit that information to the utilities. And the utilities then take it upon themselves to send out locators to mark your publicly managed underground lines for free. So NC 811 provides this link, and at no charge, but please call 811 or 1-800-632-4949 3 days before you plan on digging. I'd say at least 3 days. Why be last minute Lucy?
Alrighty, 2 laps left to go here. Adam Benfield is battling here for the 3rd position. Eric Schaefer on the outside. Right now, the 083 finally gets clear of him here, gaining a 16th position on the night. Hate to stop you there, Stella, with the 811, but the white flag is coming out as Corey Hines makes it on through. Still, Hines out in front by almost 9.5 seconds, but we still got guys nose to tail here sitting for 3rd. Looks like Schaefer may have to check out here. I don't know if he's got anything left underneath the hood to run down Adam Benefield. Right now, still taking a look, 2/10 off the rear bumper, and Eric Schaefer starting to run out of steam here, unable to get caught up. Eric Schaefer's been fighting that car all night here, and he's just unable to catch him. Corey Hines across the line, and the Music 250 is his. Dakota Ehrman sits 2nd. Here he comes right now as he slides on through Eric Schaefer. And Eric Schaefer will be 4th. Adam Benefield able to fend him off for 3rd. Excellent race here so far. Remember I said we had a caution back on lap 85 of Dylan Walterman's Toyota getting into the wall, and then we had the big one there on lap 92 after some guys got some tires slung around and ended up obliterating each other out there. So our point standings will kind of shuffle up just a little bit. Hines, Ehrman, Banks will make it through. Johnny Taylor, Bruno, and I'm sure Priest will make it through. John Williams didn't start here tonight. Adam Benefield, we'll talk to him first as he had a 3rd place finish. Matt Sisler, he was down and out, and I believe he only made it to about lap 47 here tonight. Mark Sikosi, I think, is eliminated. He finished 16th. Benfield, he finished 13th here tonight, and he is sitting 11th. So him and John Williams may change, and Brandon Hastings, who just barely made it, 19th is where he finished. So I think we're going to see the 7th place. He's going to get knocked out. That means Stoney moves up to 8th. Adam Benefield moves up depending on his points here tonight where he ends. So Stella, what an excellent race here so far. And Corey Hines yet again with another win.
Yes, it is. And in just a moment, ooh, he's already Taylor's taking a few spins of his own.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is actually Johnny Taylor. He's out here messing around because Hines has already taken it back to the garage. I think he's ready, locked, and loaded. He's had him enough here tonight, so we'll get a hold of Adam Benefield. Guys, hold on just a moment. We'll go ahead and find all our guys as Johnny Taylor apparently has enough rubber still left on the car.
Hey, Tanya Harding's got nothing on him.
Yeah. Alrighty, caught up with our second place finisher here, Dakota Ehrman, as we wait for Adam Benfield to get out of the car here tonight. Dakota, this race, man, first stage all you, but the last part, man, once again, Corey Hines pretty fast out here. What can we do?
And I don't know if there's anything we can do. I heard some guys joking, go ahead and give him the trophy, and I'm right there with you. I knew he was starting in the back, and I knew him and his team Legacy, they were just unreal all week. Super good long run pace. I tried all kinds of things just to try to make this car competitive. It was so far off in the beginning of the week, and even right there, I didn't feel like it was a great car. But overall, we lucked into the pole. I just happened to finally put a lap together to actually be able to qualify up front and hang on for the first stage. And then as soon as Corey was there, man, it was just racing for second. And I short pitted trying to give it something at the end, but we didn't have anything for him. Car was good for what it was, though. Really looking forward to going to Chicago. I know we have a really good piece there. I've been working on it. And I'm excited to get there and prove it through the week and get ready for round 2 of the playoffs, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, you definitely make it to round 2. Congratulations on your second place finish, man. I do like seeing how you race, but we just got to figure out how to get a little more long run speed out of that 48. And I think you might have it finally dialed in. Dakota, shout out time, brother.
I just want to throw a shout out to my teammate Mike. Dustin couldn't make it, but all the guys at Phase 2. I've had guys, running laps with me all week trying to help make the car better, and it's greatly appreciated. Luke and Molly for being on the car, you guys for broadcasting, and Mark for putting on the league. It's a lot of fun being here.
All righty, Dakota. Good luck at Chicagoland, man. Definitely an odd track and oddly shaped, man. I don't know if I agree with that, but hopefully you're able to get enough speed and make it on to the championship for, man. Good luck.
Hey, thank you.
All righty, that's going to do it there for Dakota Ehrman. Moving on to our third place finisher here of Adam Benefield. Adam, talk to me about this race, man. Interesting way of how this kind of choked up right here at the end, and you being able to pass Eric Schaefer in the last few laps.
Yeah, I don't know. I was to me, I was driving blind. I had no force feedback in my wheel. My wheel broke during the 24-hour race this past weekend, so had to pull out one from the top of the closet, and it ain't got no force feedback. So I was just driving blind and trying not to wreck.
You drive blind better than I drive looking, so don't worry.
Wow.
Yeah, I had all week to get used to it, so I was used to it. But you come in here and you start trying to run a pace like Corey and Dakota and Eric, it gets a little hairy.
Well, that it does, man. That, what can we have done tonight other than the obvious here tonight of what kind of adjustments can you make, heading even into Chicagoland to try to trip up Corey Hines here a little bit? I mean, Dakota Ehrman says that half the guys are joking around and just hand the guy the trophy. There's still a chance that you can reel this guy in and kind of and get him at this point.
I mean, well, luckily for me, the part to fix my wheel will be here Thursday, so we'll be back to normal next week. But that's what Dustin Hall, he was on the box, and I mean, he asked that question, what can we change? I was like, find me some force feedback, So it's just a different ball game when you can't feel the car, and you're so used to it. I ain't gonna sit here and say that if I had force feedback, I had something for him. I really don't know. But Chicagoland, I really, really love that place. So we'll be back. I mean, I won't have any excuses. I'm sure Nick Ottinger over at Team Conti Sim Performance will dial up a good little hot rod for us to go and try to make some noise next week.
All right, man. We'll definitely hope for that. And anybody else out here, you think? People watching your any other sponsors?
Just Team Conti Sim Performance, Dustin for the help, Apex Designs for the beautiful paint scheme, and all the haters that keep running their mouth to build the motivation. So appreciate them.
All right, Adam. Good luck to you, buddy, and we will see you at Chicagoland.
All right, bud.
All righty. Stella, I feel a little
No.
What's the word? Animosity.
No.
Now we'll definitely see. Let's go ahead and grab a hold of Corey Hines here, and we'll try to see if we can grab him before he leaves tonight. Race winner tonight, Corey Hines. Oh boy. Well, I'm running out of questions, man. Normally I don't have somebody here in the booth that often who wins this often. Talk to me about this race. What was the hardest part?
I think for sure coming through the field, just being behind all them cars and dirty air, it's really hard to keep the front tires on it. It's a real tough track to pass, so I had to be patient.
But we started in the back on purpose.
That was patient. Okay.
We were in second place heading into the second stage.
Into the first stage. I mean, in the
after the
break.
first stage here, Stella, he came into pit, came out in second, gaining 16 positions, which was at least half of what we had driving out here tonight. And you continue passing guys, even putting them laps down, and I think only the top 8 were still left on the lead lap after this one. Concrete. How different is concrete tracks compared to asphalt?
I guess I've never really thought of it that way. I guess I don't really try to look at them too differently because we don't run too many of them, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I kind of try to tackle them the same as any other track, really.
Okay. Well, I just know some people say, you get these concrete tracks, depending, they'll be a lot more aggressive out there on the tires. But we head to Chicagoland next week. Confidence level heading there.
Pretty good. It's usually a pretty good track for me, so exciting to go there.
All right, man. Shout out time.
Yeah, just thank you guys for putting this on. Do a good job as always.
We try.
What about Team Conti, buddy? Team Conti? Hey, were you with Team Conti or were you with FaZe tonight?
Neither. I was just kind of hanging out.
Bro. All right, Corey, we'll talk to you here in a little bit, but congratulations on winning the Music City 250, and we'll see you at Chicagoland.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, Stella, that's going to do it for us tonight. Next week, Chicagoland for the Illinois 300. Kind of what's your outlook here on how these guys are going to be running that one?
I think there's probably is a difference between asphalt and concrete, and we've heard the guys say who's king of the concrete. So there's got to be something to that. I will like to see it. It'll be fun. There'll be only the round of 8, but we'll have everybody else on the track. But only the final 8 will be up for contention to move on to the final 4.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's definitely going to be there. We'll check out there on Facebook with the NSR Xfinity Series and kind of see who made it through, who's eliminated here. I'm fairly certain I'm pretty close. John Williams is there, and Stoney placed over top of the other guys out there, as they're all pretty much even there in the cut-off spot. So we eliminate 4 tonight. We eliminate 4 next round. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Kind of keep an eye out there. I believe next Tuesday we'll have the 87s. We'll go ahead and duke it out with those guys over there at NORA, the National Oval Racing Association. And we'll let the 87s rip it up there for the Daytona 500. But until then, be well, be safe, be kind. And I'll catch all you guys next time. Appreciate it, Jay.